What's up, guys? It is Biblical Brennan here, and welcome to Mark chapter 1, part 2. I just want to say last episode was a little long, and so I'm trying to work on that. A few quick things I want to get done. My voice is completely gone, and I'm sorry for the late upload, and those both have to do with each other. So the reason I'm late uploading is because I just got back from a beach retreat with my youth group, and it was awesome, but that's also why my voice was gone. There was a lot of yelling, especially for the award show where we voted on awards for each other. I got most likely to grow up to be the next Bill Nye the Science Guy. So let's get it. I'm going to try and keep them around 10 minutes and try and get more done. I did a lot of rambling last time, and I noticed that. So I'm trying my best here, okay? I'm pretty new to it. To all this stuff. I've never really made very high quality videos before, so I'm trying my best, but still pretty new to it. So let's get in to Mark chapter 1. I will be using New King James Version this time and testing my editing skills. Right around here, hopefully a Bible will show up, but I will be reading it out loud just in case it doesn't, because I really am not good at that yet. So let's see here. Mark chapter 1, verse 9. John baptizes Jesus. So we are seeing Jesus is finally come. And like we said last time, Mark is a very sped up version of the gospel. And so it just bang, 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 lots of stuff going on. So here we go. Verse 9. It came to pass in those days that Jesus came from Nazareth of Galilee and was baptized by John in the Jordan. And immediately coming up from the water, he saw the heavens parting and the Spirit descending upon him like a dove. Then a voice came from heaven. You are my beloved Son, with whom I am well pleased. Satan tempts Jesus. Verse 12. Immediately the Spirit drove him into the wilderness, and he was there in the wilderness 40 days, tempted by Satan, and was with the wild beasts, and the angels ministered to him. So that was verses 9 through 12. So I'm going to add a little note right here, and it's going to say, what happened when Jesus was baptized? We are going to answer that with immediately tempted by Satan. So if we look into some other books, we see that there were 3 temptations. Turn the rocks into bread, because he was fasting for 40 days in the wilderness. So Jesus was obviously very hungry. The longest I've ever gone without eating was 8 days, because I was in the hospital because of my appendix, which really stank. I don't like grammar. So yeah, that was the first one. The second one was to jump off of the temple, because he knew that the angels would catch him. And the third one was to bow down to Satan. And Satan said that he would give him all of the land he could see from the top of the mountain if he would only bow down to him. But he did not, because he's a cool dude. And he answered all of them with scripture. Get off of the table, Rubble. Oh my goodness. Dogs are crazy. Okay, so there's a lot going on in chapter 1. So why don't we skip to verse 16? 4 fishermen called as disciples. We're going to make a note here in just a second. And as he walked by the Sea of Galilee, he saw Simon and Andrew, his brother, casting a net into the sea. They were fishermen. Then Jesus said to them, follow me, and I will make you become fishers of men. They immediately left their nets and followed him. When he had gone a little farther from there, he saw James the son of Zebedee and John his brother, who were also in the boat mending their nets, and immediately called them. And they left their father Zebedee in the boat with the hired servants and went after them. So there's actually a great representation of this in The Chosen. I would recommend you go watch that. It's a great show. I think it really captures the New Testament very well. Just a great visual perception. So his first 4 apostles were, as we can see here, it says Simon and Andrew. So Simon Peter and Andrew. So we're Simon, Andrew, and James and John. Oxford comma. Hey, do y'all use Oxford commas? Let me know down below in the comments. Alright, coming up on 6 minutes here. Okay, making good time. So, verse 21, they went into Capernaum, and immediately on the Sabbath he entered the synagogue and taught. And they were astonished at his teaching, for he taught them as one having authority, and not as the scribes. Now there was a man in their synagogue with an unclean spirit, and he cried out, saying, Let us alone. What have we to do with you, Jesus of Nazareth? Did you come to destroy us? I know who you are, the Holy One of God. But Jesus rebuked him, saying, Be quiet, and come out of him. And when the unclean spirit had convulsed him and cried out with a loud voice, he came out of him. They were all amazed, so that they questioned among themselves, saying, What is this? What new doctrine is this? For with authority he commands even the unclean spirits, and they obey him. And immediately his fame spread throughout all the region around Galilee. So, the first miracle in Mark, make sure to put it's recorded in Mark if you're taking notes, because we may not know, as mentioned in this video, but his first one was water to wine at the wedding party. Go look it up. It's in Matthew and probably other Gospels. I'm no professional here. I'm a 13-year-old making videos. The first miracle in Mark was Jesus cast out an unclean spirit. So, there we go. That is the first one. Verse 29. I don't know why I yelled 29. It feels right to yell 29. So, verse 29. So, now, as soon as they had come out of the synagogue, I dropped my pen. Yeah, I'm not smart. As soon as they had come out of the synagogue, they entered the house of Simon and Andrew with James and John. But Simon's wife's mother, his mother-in-law, lay sick with a fever, and they told him about her at once. So he came and took her by the hand and lifted her up, and immediately the fever left her, and she served them. So Jesus heals Peter, Simon, Peter's mother-in-law of a fever. So, let's see here. Let's go down to verse 40. Now a leper came to him, imploring him, kneeling down to him, and saying to him, If you are willing, you can make me clean. Then Jesus, moved with compassion, stretched out his hand and touched him, and said to him, I am willing, be cleansed. As soon as he had spoken, immediately the leprosy left him, and he was cleansed. And he strictly warned him, and sent him away at once, and said to him, See that you say nothing to anyone, but go your way, show yourself to the priest, and offer for your cleansing those things which Moses commanded, as a testimony to them. However, he went out and began to proclaim it freely and to spread the matter, so that Jesus could no longer openly enter the city, but was outside in deserted places, and they came to him from every direction. So, the last note that we're going to put is Jesus heals a leper, and the leper tells everyone of him. And I capitalize him because it is talking about Jesus. So, what we can see here is that he reached out and touched the leper. This is very interesting because you would never touch a leper in those times. Like, that was like the forbidden thing to do, is touching a leper. So that's a very interesting way that Jesus healed him. So I hope that you have enjoyed this video, and next week, next Saturday, we are going to be covering Mark chapter 2. And in case you're asking, yes, I am using it as a piece of paper. Thank you. Goodbye.